Trocadero, if you're unaware, is probably the most iconic and easy to reach location to get a really nice view of the Eiffel Tower. It's for that reason that you're very likely to end up taking the metro to get here. It's also the name of the metro stop, and I've got 2 tips for you getting into and out of this metro station, especially out of it. The first would be that they're doing some work here with like the turnstiles. Don't take that as a free ride. There are machines here that you can validate on, like that, and then hop on the metro. If you don't validate your ticket or your Navigo, whatever it is you're using, there's a good chance you're gonna get caught and get fined. Like, not guaranteed you're gonna get fined, but a good enough chance. The second is how you get out of here. Unlike the Arc de Triomphe with the Eiffel Tower, you do want to take exit 1 because it is going to get you to where you want to go the fastest, but there's a little trick to it that I like to share for when I bring friends here, family, how I like to do the little reveal. You come up the escalator and out the other side, obviously, and the thing that I would recommend is what you do is you get someone's attention to the right, like point to the square, to the statue of the horse, just long enough to walk out into the middle of this central square. That's what it looks like. And look, you might say, there's a man on a horse in the middle. What's his story? Why is it that he's sitting on that horse? Does the fact that the horse's hoof is in the air mean anything? It's only on 3 hooves. Some people say that that means the man died in battle. Most people would tell you that's nonsense. And then suddenly, without realizing it, you say, oh yeah, and look to your left. And there she is. I've gotten some solid reactions over the years to that. It can be tricky, obviously, to get someone's attention that way when they see very clearly everyone going left, but if you can pull it off, makes for a nice whoa moment. Otherwise, just look left and you'll see it be revealed as usual, and it's still really lovely. But what we're actually here for is construction. We're looking at how they're changing Trocadero, this entire square. Now, if you look at the renderings, they're trying to greenify this space, which I love. I'm not exactly sure where it's gonna land, so I'm gonna have to go to my inside scoop. I'm in conversation with them right now as to how we're gonna go about giving you that inside track on what's going on with the Olympics. But there should be a pretty significant greenification of the square, and I believe we're seeing the start of that right now. Like, it's starting to really ramp up just in the last couple of weeks. So while this might be one of the most famous spots to see the Eiffel Tower, the location you find yourself in is going to look very different in the not too distant future. Trocadero itself is broken into the square behind you and the park in front of you. I tend to think of this platform in the middle as like the square, but it's really more just like a, I don't know if you call it a dais or a platform or whatever. It's the famous spot to get your photos taken for sure. The main thing that we're interested in today is checking out what they're doing in the square, because that's going to be turned into hopefully more of a park vibe. But we can go take a peek in the park really quick and see if they're making any progress there. Like, this whole area is going to turn into insanity. But we have lots of time to see how it evolves. So, you know, no pressure. Let's just go see what we can see. One nice update for this area is that for like at least, I think it was a couple of years, this viewpoint right here where you'd actually go to the edge and be able to see the Eiffel Tower was completely blocked off by massive wood barriers. Like all the way up here, you couldn't actually really get very far to see. The Eiffel Tower is all blocked off to do some repair work, I believe. That's cleared out right now. So at least your view and the photos that you would take from up here aren't obstructed, like mine is right now. They put up these triangular caps to keep people from walking on top of the banisters, which is kind of too bad because one of my favorite photos that I've ever taken is sitting all the way out on the edge of this. It's a great spot. You know, safety first, I guess. But it does look like they're starting to do something down here. It does look like you're still able to go down the stairs and around. Just can't go through here. And this is often a place where street performers end up. But I guess the street performances are gonna have to move. This looks nice though. I hadn't seen this, like all of this, both the grass and just this like concrete base right here filled in the way it is right now is different than the last time I saw it. One other difference we can spot, oh actually we can get down fairly close. Let's go down there. So what I wanted to point out was these freshly planted gardens that they have over on this side. Like, this looks really nice and fairly new to me, and I'm gonna try and keep Cooper from peeing on it because it's new and we don't want to pee on the new. Don't be the first one, buddy. Anyways, this path is blocked off. We can't go over there. I don't trust you. It looks really pretty. Classically French. I like it. It's clean. Very interested to see what all this turns into. I believe this is where the award ceremonies are going to be held, like the medal ceremonies. I don't know that there's really anything else here that's worth noting in the park itself. Obviously, there's a lot of work that's going to get done here, which is exciting to see. This area's been a little trashy for a while. Come here with your dog, and your dog discovers things that you wish he'd never found, and you realize, maybe this park's not that clean. Looks like they're changing that, which is exciting. Let's go check out the square, though. That shows a little bit more promise. Of course, while we're here, don't forget, store.parisinmypocket.com and grab one of these shirts, including the Eiffel Tower. It's a great place to hide your microphone. It's a great place to hide all kinds of things, including a snack maybe you're a little bit embarrassed for people to see. Store.parismypocket.com. There's less than 2 weeks left. Countdown continues.
Are you enjoying the grass? Yeah.
Also, Trocadero is a spot where you might catch a protest from time to time, so don't be totally surprised. There's already a fair amount of work being done in Trocadero. Well, who knows, maybe this is just a regular weekly tear up the sidewalk kind of a thing. You never know around here. I'm not entirely sure what all this madness is turning into. As far as like the medians go and whatever else. Very hopeful that they plant a whole bunch of trees and greenery here. But this over here, I believe, lines up perfectly with the drawings we've seen. These sections I find the most fascinating, right? Because they're basically taking away at least one lane of traffic, if not two. Usually buses would fill this area like crazy. Cooper found a stick, he's happy. Plan, as far as I understand it, is to reduce the amount of space traffic actually gets, car traffic, and to extend effectively the green space or the park into this area. Originally, there was actually as ambitious as a plan as to close this off entirely, basically to make that whole section a park between the square and the square, you know what we were talking about earlier, and just leaving some space for cars around the outside of the roundabout or the outside of the square. I don't think they're going to go quite that far. I think it's going to remain a roundabout. However, it is going to become that much more of a pain in the butt to drive through, which brings us back to an earlier point, which is don't rent a car to drive in Paris. Like, don't drive in Paris. It's not going to be fun. Cooper, that stick might be a little bit too big to take home. Oh, he's going to try anyways. I mean, this is a lot of space. Each one of these, I don't know what you'd call it, the sidewalk areas between streets, you know what I mean? Kind of the bulwarks against traffic. They're expanding them by a lot. There's a huge van parked here. You could fit probably like 5 of them just in this space. More, like 9 of them, 10 of them. I don't even know. Why are we even using this truck as an example? That seems really counterintuitive. You could fit a lot in this space. Like, my hope is that they put trees, benches, maybe a picnic table if we're lucky. I don't know. But just like shared green space, that's gonna be phenomenal. Drivers aren't gonna like it, but remember, don't drive in Paris. Don't rent a car when you come here unless you're leaving. And even then, maybe rent it where you're going. That's one of the hot tips. We can get into that later, but it's pretty amazing. With additional bike lanes planned around the outside here for now, and then who knows what this ends up getting turned into. Something about standing here in the middle of this space just highlights how much room is being reclaimed. Like, this is, again, easily 2 lanes of traffic that are being taken back. And I'm here for it. I'm all about it. Cooper, did you find another stick? This guy's finding sticks all over the place. Trocadero is Cooper's favorite place. Anyway, thanks to George, today's patron producer, and all my patrons for sending me out here. They voted on this, like I said earlier, by a very narrow margin. Do you want to be the deciding factor in the next vote? Like, I could have gone to Concord. I could have gone, I don't remember what the other one was. The Louvre? They've been scrubbing the Louvre. I'll put up another monument poll here really soon, and my patrons get to vote on where we go to next to check out, you know, the advancement of the construction around Paris, cleaning it up, removing scaffolding, making new parks, building Olympic arenas and stuff maybe at some point, I don't know. And if you're lucky, you'll pick a spot that Cooper gets to find just as many sticks as here, because he's super stoked about all the sticks he's finding in Trocadero. I keep thinking about how every day I'm excited the sunrise is getting earlier, the sunset is getting later, and when is it gonna warm up? It's so cold and it's causing all kinds of problems, especially for laundry.